I should have stopped the moment I heard her whisper my name like that, slow, breathy, seductive. But I was too far gone, floating somewhere between trust and heat, watching her mouth form soft lies between moans I thought were just for me. I did not realize it then, but we were not alone. There were hundreds of eyes watching us. Paying. Chatting. Laughing. And she knew it. She had always known it. My knees gave out when I saw the laptop propped open on the dresser. The red light of the webcam blinking like a warning I never saw coming. The screen was split, our bodies, tangled and intimate, broadcasted live to strangers online. And right above it, a chat box flooding with messages. Tips. Requests. Praise. Lust. Everything I thought was ours, sold for $5 tokens. I did not scream. I just stared. Frozen. Like a fool too in love with a lie to breathe. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. I am deeply grateful for your support, your time, and your trust. To all my returning viewers and those watching for the first time, thank you for being here. If you have not hit that subscribe button yet, I cannot wait for you to do so. It is your support that keeps this channel going. Drop your thoughts in the comments immediately after this short hook. I promise you, it only gets deeper from here. My name is Jessica Quinn. I am 34 years old. Born and raised in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I work in luxury real estate, and up until a few months ago, I believed I was building a life with a woman who saw me, wanted me, and loved me. Her name was Ava Monroe. She had ocean blue eyes, a tattoo of a crescent moon on her ribcage, and a smile that made me forget every reason to run. We met at a yoga studio in Wynwood. She was barefoot, wearing leggings like second skin and laughing too loud for a stranger. I was recovering from a breakup and trying to reconnect with my center, as my therapist put it. But Ava? She became my center that day. Her energy was electric. She leaned in close when she spoke, like every word needed to touch you. We started seeing each other casually. Coffee after class. Walks around the mural-filled streets. It did not take long before our mornings started with sweat, and our nights ended tangled in sheets. I had never been with a woman who made me feel wanted in every way. She kissed like it was a religion. Her hands knew where to go before I could even speak. 2 months in, she moved into my apartment. She said her lease ended early. I said nothing because I wanted her there. I wanted her always. It felt perfect, until it did not. She never wanted me to touch her phone. Said it was locked for privacy, and acted offended any time I questioned it. At first, I brushed it off. She was a little mysterious, sure. But I loved that about her. She was always full of surprises. I just did not know some of those surprises had usernames like MiamiQueen_Zoxo and private followers willing to pay for a peek. The first real crack came on a Thursday. She came home smelling like hotel soap and cigarettes, but she told me she had been at a spin class. Her hair was dry. No towel. No bag. She kissed me with red lipstick, though I knew she left that morning wearing none. That night, while she showered, I searched her gym bag. Nothing. But something inside me told me not to let it go. So I checked under the bed, in the closet, even behind the stacked shoeboxes on the shelf. That was when I found the burner phone. It was white, cracked near the bottom. The lock screen had no password. I opened it, and everything unraveled. There were folders. Labeled by month. Each one packed with videos. Of us. Of her alone. Of her with others. Some were recent. Some were from months before I met her. And all of them had been uploaded, based on the saved drafts, to a website I had never heard of, but the bio was hers. Let me ruin your sleep. Live every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. I sat on the floor and cried. Not because she cheated. But because she used my body like currency. Our nights were not sacred to her. They were content. When she stepped out of the shower, towel around her waist and that same damn smile on her lips, I could not even speak. I held the phone up and watched her face melt. The first tear she shed was not guilt. It was fear. Fear of being caught. Fear of me finally knowing. Jess, let me explain. I did not want to hear it. But I needed to. Because I was still in love with the version of her that made me believe in something better than pain. The version I met in that yoga studio. The version that never existed. And I was about to find out just how deep her betrayal truly went. I should have kicked her out that night. I should have screamed, smashed the laptop, burned the burner phone, and thrown her out with nothing but that towel she wrapped around her lies. But I did not. I sat there, heart wide open and stupid, while Ava dropped to her knees and begged me not to leave her. She cried. Not pretty tears, the messy, choking kind. The kind that made me second-guess the hell I had just walked into. I wanted to scream at her, but I stayed silent. I wanted her to talk. I needed her to explain everything because part of me still needed to believe she was not all bad. That there was a reason behind this twisted double life. She told me it started before she met me. That much was true. The videos dated back 2 years, long before we crossed paths. She said she had been broke, desperate, couch surfing and working 2 shifts a day in a diner that never remembered her name. One night, a friend, more like a stranger from Instagram, told her about adult cam sites. All you need is Wi-Fi and confidence, the girl had said. Ava had both. At first, it was solo content. A few flirty videos. Tips came in fast, she told me. Faster than she had expected. But as she got more comfortable, and more addicted to the validation, she escalated. Collaborations. Public stunts. Anonymous hookups with men and women who signed NDAs. But then something changed. She said it was me. You were the first thing that felt real, she whispered. And I was terrified of losing the life I built with you. That would have been touching, if it had not come with the truth that she never stopped selling our nights. The first time she streamed us was the 3rd night she spent in my bed. The first time I told her I loved her, there were 5 strangers watching. One of them tipped her $50. She never even turned off the webcam. You let them watch me sleep, I whispered. She nodded. I did not cry again. Not then. Something hardened in me. Something cracked and folded into itself. I asked her to leave. She refused. She said she needed time. She said she was done with the site. That she wanted to delete everything. I told her to give me the passwords. That was when her story really unraveled. Because she could not give me the passwords. She did not have them anymore. That was the first twist. She had not been running that page alone. Someone else had access to her content, a man named Lyle. Her friend from Instagram. The one who got her started. Turns out, Lyle was no friend. He was a recruiter. A predator dressed in flattery and money. He helped Ava set up everything, then slowly began demanding a bigger cut. And when she hesitated, he blackmailed her. You think this is about sex? She asked me, her voice shaking. It is about control. I tried to stop, Jess. I swear. But he said if I did, he would release all the raw footage. Not just mine, ours. I wanted to believe her. God help me, I did. But I needed proof. So I told her to show me. Every message. Every transfer. Every piece of evidence she had. I did not want stories, I wanted facts. So we sat on the floor, back against the wall, and she opened her main phone. The one I had never been allowed to touch. There it was. Lyle's name. The Cash App receipts. Voice notes. One even said, "You owe me another stream this week." You and the blonde. Full body. No edits. I nearly threw up. I was the blonde. I was the girl in the clip. I was the product. My chest was pounding so hard I could barely breathe. My hands were shaking. I felt like I had been skinned alive, my privacy, my trust, my intimacy, all stripped, sold, and monetized like it meant nothing. And still, the worst part was, I loved her. Even in that moment. I looked at her, broken, scared, crying beside me, and I wanted to hold her. I hated myself for it. How do you fall out of love with someone you gave everything to? I took a few days. Stayed at my friend Ashley's condo in Brickell. She did not ask questions, just poured wine and let me sleep in her guest room. But I could not sleep. Not with the images in my head. Not with the knowledge that somewhere out there, strangers had seen more of me than I ever gave willingly. And not with the sickening fear that this was still happening. Because Ava told me something else before I left. Lyle was not finished. He had more footage. Recent ones. Files I had never seen. She said the burner phone was only half of it. The rest were in his cloud account, footage he recorded through hidden webcams. She said there were times she did not even know he was recording. That he once placed a camera in my bedroom lamp. That he had been in our apartment while we were out, setting up. It felt like my skin was crawling. Violated did not begin to describe it. It was like my body did not even belong to me anymore. So I made a decision. If she would not burn this whole thing to the ground, I would. I went back that weekend. She was still there, curled on the couch like a ghost of herself. She looked thinner. Paler. Like she had not eaten or slept in days. I told her I needed everything she had on Lyle, messages, contacts, photos, account info. She hesitated, but eventually she gave it all to me. A Google Drive folder named, just in case. Inside were screenshots of threats. Audio messages. Dropbox links. Even a scanned fake NDA template with signatures Ava said he forged. I took it all. And then I left again. But not before looking her dead in the eye and saying, "You want redemption? Help me destroy him. Or you are just as guilty." She nodded once. No tears this time. Just a heavy, defeated silence. But that silence was not the end. Because when I dug deeper, I found something Ava never told me. Lyle was not acting alone. There was someone else. A name in the email threads. Someone I knew. Someone I trusted. And that twist was about to break everything wide open. It was past midnight when I opened the last email in the thread. I sat alone at my kitchen table, laptop glowing in the dark, heart pounding as I read the sender's name again and again, ashley.v.robbins@gmail.com. Ashley. My best friend. My lifeline. The woman who poured me wine and wrapped me in silence when I had nowhere else to go. The same woman who told me, 2 years ago, that she did not really do relationships, but somehow always knew when to comfort me. I thought she was safe. I thought she was mine in a platonic, unshakable way. And there she was. Buried in the chain of darkness Ava had handed me. A contract agreement signed by Ashley V. Robbins as a content partner for a project titled Night Eyes. A line item that read, partner to receive 20% of total content revenue generated from live streams and recorded materials captured via camera setups at Location B. Location B was my condo. My home. The place I laid my head every night. The place Ashley had helped decorate. The place Ava had crawled into my bed and whispered "I love you." I called Ava. She answered on the first ring. Her voice cracked before I even said her name. "You knew," I said. My voice was flat. Cold. "You knew Ashley was in on it." There was a pause. Too long. Then she whispered, "I wanted to tell you. But I thought if you knew everything, you would never." "Never what?" I snapped. "Never look at you again? Never feel sorry for you?" "No," she said. "Never love me again." And that was the truth, finally laid bare. She had not wanted to protect me. She wanted to protect her place in my life. Even if it meant wrapping me in a lie so layered I would never dig to the bottom. But I had. And I was there now. I ended the call. I stared at the screen, shaking. I felt filthy. Not just used, but orchestrated. Puppeteered by the two people I had trusted the most. Ashley had helped me decorate my bedroom. She had picked the lamps. She had picked the placement of the dresser. She had laughed when I said I wanted blackout curtains. Gotta keep things private, she had joked. She had placed the damn camera herself. I could not sleep. I did not eat. For 3 days, I compiled everything. Every email, every voice note, every screenshot. I organized it into folders. I labeled it like evidence. Because that was what it was. This was a crime. I booked a consultation with a lawyer in Coral Gables. Her name was Yvette Torres, and she had the kind of deadpan expression that made you feel like she had seen it all. After I explained everything, she sat back in her chair and said, "If what you are saying is true, and you have proof, then this is not just revenge porn. This is conspiracy, fraud, and a serious violation of state privacy laws." She looked at me, hard. "Do you want to press charges?" I said yes. And for a moment, it felt like I could breathe. But the process took time. Law enforcement moved slow. And in that time, Ava disappeared. She left the apartment, left her phone, and vanished from all platforms. Her accounts were wiped clean. Her Instagram gone. Her email returned auto-replies. The burner phone was powered off and never lit up again. Even Lyle stopped responding to her messages. Like the whole operation collapsed the second I went legal. But Ashley? She stayed right where she was. Like nothing had happened. I waited until I had enough. And then, I confronted her. I showed up at her office. She was a marketing manager for a luxury resort chain. She wore white silk and fake sympathy. When she saw me standing at her door, she smiled like I was an old friend and not the woman she had betrayed for cash. "Jess," she said. "You look." I slammed the folder onto her desk. "Say one more word and I swear I will scream." She opened the folder. Saw her name in the contract. The screenshots. The wiring receipts. Her face changed. Drained. "Listen. You do not speak," I cut her off. "You shut up and listen to every word I am about to say." I told her I knew everything. That I had gone to the police. That I had a lawyer and a press contact, and if she even breathed wrong, I would make sure every disgusting thing she had done would be public by sunrise. She tried to plead. She said Ava manipulated her too. That she did not know how far it would go. That she thought the footage was fake. That she thought I knew. I laughed in her face. "You think I let you put a camera in my bedroom because I knew?" Her silence was all I needed. I walked out of her office and never looked back. The investigation dragged for 6 months. Ava never surfaced. Lyle was tracked down in Arizona, living in an RV and still recruiting women off cam sites. He was arrested. Ashley was subpoenaed. Her emails were enough to link her to the footage distribution. The charges were pending. But here is the thing no one talks about: justice does not heal you. It gives you something to hold on to, yes. A headline. A win. But it does not return your body to you. It does not erase the feeling of being watched. I still unplug every lamp in my room before bed. I still check for blinking lights. I still flinch when someone compliments my smile online. Because that smile? That was how it started. Ava's smile. That crooked, dangerous smile I fell for. The smile that promised love, and sold me instead. It has been a year now. I sold the condo. Moved north. Changed my phone number. Deleted my social media. I started volunteering at a women's shelter, helping women whose stories echo mine in different keys. Every time someone asks if I am okay, I say, I am better now. But truthfully, some nights, I still see her in my dreams. Ava. Crying. Smiling. Whispering my name in the dark. And when I wake up, I remind myself. She was not love. She was a lesson. And I learned it the hardest way possible.